Deep beneath the dark waters of the Pacific, whispers once spread among Japanese sailors about an American cruiser whose guns roared like machine guns. They were talking about the USS Helena, the ship that refused to die. Helena's story began during the Great Depression when America was rebuilding its navy under strict treaty limits. She was designed to be fast, light, and deadly, carrying 15 6-inch guns that could fire faster than anything else afloat. She was commissioned in 1939, and her crew spent those early years training across the oceans, unaware of the storm that was about to change the world. On the morning of December 7, 1941, Helena was tied up at Pearl Harbor next to a battleship berth. When Japanese torpedo bombers attacked, one of their torpedoes struck her side, tearing through the hull and flooding her engine rooms. The explosion was violent. The lights went out, but within minutes the emergency generators came to life. Her gunners manned their stations and began firing back even as flames and smoke filled the harbor. 40 men lost their lives that morning, but the ship didn't sink. Helena survived the attack that crippled an entire fleet. She limped to the mainland for repairs, arriving at Mare Island Navy Yard in California. There, she was reborn. The engineers gave her better armor, stronger anti-aircraft guns, new radar systems, and modern fire control that allowed her to detect and strike targets through darkness. By the summer of 1942, Helena was ready to return to war, tougher and faster than before. In the Solomon Islands, she quickly earned a new reputation. During the brutal nights off Guadalcanal, Helena's radar picked up enemy ships long before they were visible. At Cape Esperance, her guns opened fire first, blazing so rapidly that Japanese sailors thought they were hearing automatic weapons. One enemy cruiser was shattered in minutes, and Admiral Goto, the Japanese commander, was killed before he even understood who was firing at him. Helena's crew fought with precision and fury, turning the tide of battle in the dark. Later, during another night fight near Guadalcanal, a Japanese destroyer illuminated Helena with a searchlight. It was the last thing that destroyer ever did. Within seconds, Helena's 6-inch guns opened up, and the ship was ripped apart. Again and again, Helena proved that radar and training could outmatch surprise and numbers. She became the pride of the fleet, a symbol of resilience and power. By mid-1943, the Allies were on the offensive. Helena joined operations in New Georgia, bombarding Japanese positions and covering troop landings. Her gunners worked tirelessly, often shelling shore targets through the night, but the enemy was learning too. Japanese destroyers now carried long-range Type 93 torpedoes, the deadly long lances that could strike from beyond the horizon. On the night of July 6, 1943, Helena was leading a column of American ships through Kula Gulf. Her radar picked up enemy contacts, and she opened fire immediately, sending her trademark rapid-fire shells across the dark water. Within minutes, the Japanese flagship was burning. But while Helena's guns dominated the surface, beneath the waves, a spread of torpedoes was already on its way. The first torpedo hit forward, the second amidships, and the third near the stern. The explosions were devastating. The ship's spine cracked, the lights went out, and water rushed in. Within minutes, Helena began to break apart. Captain Charles P. Cecil gave the order to abandon ship, but even as she sank, her rear guns kept firing until the last turret was swallowed by the sea. Hundreds of men were thrown into the dark waters, clinging to debris and rafts as the burning ship slipped below the surface. Nearby, American destroyers tried to rescue survivors under constant threat of renewed attack. About 700 sailors survived, but over 160 were lost. Some floated for days before being rescued. Others swam to nearby islands, where local villagers and coast watchers helped them hide from Japanese patrols until rescue could arrive. Helena's loss was a devastating blow to the Navy, but her courage at Kula Gulf earned her the Navy Unit Commendation, the first ever given to a ship. She had fought in nearly every major Pacific battle up to that point, from Pearl Harbor to Guadalcanal, and each time she had proven unbreakable.